Still bills, what's the deal, man? Just dropped my son off at school, and I gotta take my wife in for surgery today. So I got the day off, man. So keep us in your prayers and your thoughts. But peep game, man, I want to talk about something, man, and I want to talk about do controversial wins, should that be a stain on your resume, or should it be an attribute and a medal of honor on your resume, man? And I see it could go both ways, man. I can see it being a stain on your resume in the sense of like with Canelo and Golovkin. Nah, I won't even say that, because I think Canelo did a lot better than people are giving him credit for. I think he won those first 3 rounds and the last 3 rounds, but like I could give like a few of those rounds were swing rounds later on in the fight, in the last 3 rounds. So I can easily understand why somebody would say Golovkin got robbed in that fight. But let's see, something like Jose Benavidez and Mauricio Herrera, or Tim Bradley versus Diego Chavez, when that was ruled a draw. Victories like that should definitely be stains on your resume, because it's just too egregious. Even I wouldn't even get mad if somebody said Golovkin and Canelo's first match was a stain on Canelo's resume, because people just feel so entitled about that victory for Golovkin being robbed in that fight. I'd understand it. I most definitely would understand it, man. But not even no buts. It's just that's I get it, man. You can do this, you can go on and on with this, man. Chavez and Parnell, Chavez versus Meldrick. I can most definitely see in somebody having an argument on a controversial win being a stain on your resume. I can see that. I get that argument, man, because a lot of people have won fights that they did not deserve to win. They did not deserve to win them, man. Manny and Jeff Horn. I mean, I thought Jack Catterall, I thought Josh won the fight, but I'm starting to lean towards the other way, towards Catterall. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that fight, but that's definitely a stain on his resume. It is. But on the flip side to that, you also got to take into consideration, man, when you have controversial losses where it's like, man, I don't know who won that fight. That, I think, enhances your resume. If you do it, if you're having controversial wins against quality opposition. You dig? Like, I didn't think Andre Ward beat Sergey Kovalev, but he did enough down the stretch to seal the deal. That's definitely an attribute to him. Despite me thinking that he lost the fight, you still can't take it like that is a solid win for Andre Ward. That's a very solid win for him. Extremely solid. And I've been seeing a lot of people, I just was having a back and forth with a brother on Facebook today, and he was talking about how Canelo had, multiple controversial losses with, or controversial wins with Lara and Golovkin. It's like, it happens, man. Do we denigrate Sugar Ray Leonard for having a controversial win over Marvin Hagler? Because I damn sure didn't think he won that fight. I think he was winning the fight early on, but Hagler started to find a home for them lead hooks later on down the stretch. He was opening up wide to try and catch Ray Leonard. It was not happening. Ray Leonard is a very much so slick fighter. He can operate off of the jab and tap dance on the outside, work behind the straight shots, and he was having success with that early on and keeping Hagler off balance. But Hagler started to close the distance and, and connect. And he did that, and not only did he connect, because it wasn't like he was just ringing his bells consistently. Ray Leonard was going inactive. So I thought Hagler did enough to pull that fight out. I thought he did enough to pull that fight out, man. So I see nothing wrong with that. I see nothing wrong with that. I don't see that. Because at first, I thought Ray Leonard won the fight, but then I went while I was there. I was like, nah, Hagler got that fight. But that doesn't denigrate Ray Leonard and his legacy and his reputation. That doesn't besmear his name and who he is to this sport. Floyd Mayweather and Maidana, Floyd Mayweather and Castillo, Manny Pacquiao and Marcos Juan Manuel Marquez. It doesn't besmirch their names just because they had controversial wins and losses, man. Those are quality oppositions. You got to think Juan Manuel Marquez next to Floyd Mayweather was the baddest counterpuncher in the business, bro. Him and Sergio Martinez, like, them dudes was incredible counterpunchers, man. Like, we can't. I think when you play yourself, when you know what I'm saying, when you denigrate somebody's wins or whatever because it was a controversial win, and I don't see anything wrong with it as long as it's quality opposition. I don't see, because that, I mean, you're not supposed to just go in there and just blow over everybody. You are supposed to challenge yourself. You're supposed to be in it. You're supposed to challenge yourself. Earl Spence and Sean Porter, that was a controversy. Does that go against Earl Spence's victory over him? No, I'm still having a back and forth with who I think won that fight. But those are the type of fights that you are supposed to have when you step up in competition. You're not supposed to fight champions and legitimate contenders like you would blow through a dude in the bar ranked 15 and under, 10 and under. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. If you could do that, the way that Lomachenko was moving throughout 126 and 130, he was supposed to move up. Because now he's being pushed. You dig me? He's supposed to move up. So Cuadras versus Chocolatito. I think that's a stain on his resume, because I think Chocolatito won that fight. But I'm not mad at Shorin Visai. That's another example right there versus Chocolatito. Those are some of the baddest in the division, man. Those is champions. Those is legitimate contenders. You're supposed to have those type of fights with them. If the champions you are facing and the contenders you are facing are not pushing you, then yeah, maybe it's time for you to move up so you can meet some sort of resistance. I don't think that's a knock. I don't think people should be knocked because they have controversial wins on their resume. I think that's real disingenuous. It's extremely disingenuous. Oh, he lost. He had a controversial. It happens. That's what you're gonna go through. That Sean Porter and Yordenis Ugas, controversial. You're supposed to go through that. Look at Ugas now. He's a champion, about to fight the number one rated welterweight in the division. He's supposed to. Sean Porter was supposed to look like that against Ugas. You're supposed to do that. I don't know what makes people think that you're just supposed to just step up in competition and just blow through everybody. But, and if you don't, it's a knock against your greatness. That is really illogical, man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people, man? I mean, I remember when, what was that, 2011? When Kobe and company just came out on fire, and they was like, yo, ain't nobody about to beat these dudes, man. Nobody's about to beat these dudes. And then they got bounced out by Dallas. And Dallas went on to win the title and beat LeBron. You're not supposed to just go through the motions, you dig? You're supposed to meet resistance. The Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant, that shit was completely unfair, and I won't knock Curry and them for the wins because that's his team. But Kevin Durant joining the rankings of that team was just like, all right, bro, that is a head scratch. Even though he got 2 Finals MVPs, it is like, my nigga, like, come on, man, come on now, really. Even LeBron linked with D Wade and Chris Bosh, they lost twice. They lost twice. So you can say, you know, when you get to a certain level of greatness and it's somewhat of an even playing field to the best of the opponent's capabilities, then yeah, you know, it's God damn it, why are you going this way? When it's somewhat of an even playing field to the best, to the best of the opponent's capabilities, you know, it's nothing, nothing is enhanced or nothing like that, then yeah, you're supposed to reach some sort of resistance. You are. You're supposed to meet resistance, man. You are supposed to meet resistance. That is the point of testing your greatness, man. If you meet no resistance, you just plow through all opposition, then how great was your run? Let's not act like people consider Floyd Mayweather the GOAT. Let's not act like he didn't run into opposition or resistance. Let's not act like he didn't run into goddamn Jose Luis Castillo. He did. Like, let's not do that, man. Let's not act like he ain't run into DeMarcus Corley, man, and get his shit all busted up. Let's not do that. Let's not act like he didn't have his hands full with Zab Judah. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Or even Marcos Maidana, he had rough outings with those dudes. And that adds to his legacy. He didn't just obliterate everybody. Even as a champion, he didn't just obliterate everybody. Some people rose to the occasion. And some people was just that good. Zab Judah was just that good. He was outspeeding Floyd. You dig? I just need people to really get their head out their ass, man. Every great is going to be tested. Every great. I'm seeing Canelo get denigrated for Lara and Golovkin and all that. Lara was an incredible fighter. He was a really good fighter, man. In his heyday, he was a beast. He was a beast. He was a beast. And we all know what time it was with Golovkin. So don't sit here and denigrate him for those losses, man. Pause. Yeah, man, I'm back. But like I was saying, man, I think it's real dishonest and dastardly to knock somebody on controversial wins. I think it's real unfair, man. I think like, mainly more so with Canelo, because everything when Floyd and Manny went through it as well, man. With the people who reach a certain stature in the sport, it gets real disingenuous with people because they look for reasons to say that they lost. They look for reasons to say that they lost instead of just saying, "Yo, man, it was a good fight." And I was one of them dudes. I'm not even gonna front. Like I've told y'all before, man. I just wanted to see Golovkin lose. I did. And now that he's lost, I can sit back and say, you got to give him the nod on that first Canelo fight. I just wanted to see him lose. I just wanted to see him lose. You dig? Floyd, I didn't get to, I was a big Floyd detractor at first. And I was just like, nah, man, that's pointless. This motherfucker is not about to lose. And, I had my reserves with Manny. I was going for Manny, and then when he went in there and kind of, played with Manny, I was like, yeah, bro, this dude is, because I thought Manny, as great as Manny was, he would be able to force, Floyd to fight at his pace and more of an up tempo, and, after he got walked into that right hand by Juan Manuel Marquez, man, he was entirely too, concerned with getting countered with that right hand, and nobody has the pull counter like Floyd. So yeah, man, I saw that off rip. He was real apprehensive on closing distance because of that, because of how sharp of a counter puncher that Floyd is. So I was like, yeah, Floyd is that nigga. But yeah, man, it's gonna happen. That's the overall point to this video, man. When you step up in competition, you are going to have losses that are head scratchers, or you're gonna have wins that are head scratchers. You're gonna have that. Tim Bradley versus Manny Pacquiao, another one. Another one was like, what? Like, what the fuck is this? But what did Tim Bradley do after that controversial win that he got? He went and he fought Ruslan Provatnikov, a motherfucker that nobody was trying to get in the ring with. He got in the ring with and suffered and got concussed. But he pulled out the victory. He put himself through the gauntlet, through the ringer to erase that stain off of his resume, even though it was a win. And he was better prepared for Manny Pacquiao in the next fight because of that. Even though he lost the next two, I think he was more prepared in the third fight than the second fight, even though he got dropped twice. So I don't know, man. I feel people really need to be a little bit more logical with their reasoning. If you're gonna clap at Canelo, all right, whatever the fuck ever, man. But at least do it within the realm of logic and realism, because a lot of these dudes don't do that. They hate him so much that they'll just, it's just ridiculous, the logic. I'm arguing with somebody on Facebook now talking about Monster Inoue ain't shit. If he move up to 135 pounds, he's getting beat up. Like the dude ain't 5'5". Like, what the fuck? Like, some of you people just, your logic is just so outworldly and just beyond the realm of possibility and reason. It's like, yo, you niggas just really need to go back to whatever sport y'all was watching before Deontay Wilder got cheated. That's the only reason why a lot of you motherfuckers is here. Y'all done let some motherfuckers lead y'all to this sport, and now y'all polluting the motherfucker, these threads that I'm on. Like, I'm too argumentative to just walk away. I love debating. I love the back and forth. I love the dialogue, but it does get tiring. It does, it does get taxing. But I muscle through it because I love to do it. But it's just ridiculous how how a lot of you niggas think. It's like, yo, this is pathetic. This is pathetic. So get the fuck out of here with him and his controversial wins. It is what it is. All greats go through it. You can't name me a great. You can't name me 10 greats that didn't lose. All-time greats that didn't lose. On your way to naming me those all-time greats who have lost, you can name me 10 of them that have been knocked out and stopped before. Goes with the territory of the sport. You have to be pushed. You have to meet some sort of resistance. That is a testament to your level of greatness, man. So get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? If you have a controversial loss, that means you fought somebody that was a worthy enough adversary for you to possibly lose, and you still came out victorious. Deuces.